Friends, today I'm going to tell you a story that carries a deep truth, a truth about the influence of company. This is the story of a king and two parrots. It may sound simple, but believe me, this story is a mirror of our own life. So let's begin. A long time ago, in a kingdom surrounded by tall mountains and thick forests, there lived a king, wise, fair, and deeply loved by his people. He ruled with justice, and despite his power, he had a humble heart. But even a king needs moments of peace. One evening, after completing his duties and listening to the concerns of his ministers, the king felt a heaviness in his mind. To clear his thoughts, he decided to take a walk in the royal forest, a place filled with ancient trees, fragrant flowers, and a silence that soothed his soul. The convoy moved slowly under the canopy of towering trees. The forest air was cool, and rays of sunlight slipped through the branches like golden threads dancing on the ground. The chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves created a harmony that calmed everyone. But suddenly, a loud, piercing voice tore through the silence. "Rob him! Kill him!" The king froze. His soldiers instantly drew their swords, eyes scanning the shadows. "Who dares say such words in my presence?" the king demanded, astonished. The voice came again, filled with anger and aggression. "Kill him! Take everything! Rob him!" The soldiers followed the sound and soon spotted a parrot perched on a branch above. But this was no ordinary parrot. It glared at them with fiery eyes and kept repeating threats and curses like a hardened criminal. The king could not believe his ears. "How can this be?" he murmured to himself. "Parrots imitate what they hear. But who taught this one such terrible language?" The parrot continued shrieking abuse, its wings flapping wildly. The king felt both disturbed and intrigued. Outraged, he commanded, "Catch that bird! We must find out who has turned an innocent creature into this." But the moment the soldiers approached, the parrot darted away deep into the forest, leaving only echoes of its violent cries. The king shook his head, troubled. How could such ugliness come from such a small creature? He sighed and moved forward. After walking only a short distance, another sound reached his ears, but this time it was something entirely different. A soft, melodious voice floated through the air. "Welcome, Your Majesty. Welcome to our humble ashram." The king stopped in his tracks. That voice, that sweetness, was that also a parrot? Filled with surprise, he moved toward the direction of the voice. Soon, he reached a peaceful ashram nestled among the trees. Smoke rose gently from incense sticks. The sound of bells and chants filled the air with serenity. A few sages stepped out with warm smiles and folded hands. "Welcome, O king," they said. "You have blessed our ashram with your presence." The king bowed politely, but his attention remained on the parrot who had spoken to him. There it was, a beautiful green parrot sitting calmly on a tree branch, its eyes glowing with innocence. Its voice was so gentle, so respectful, that even the king, who had heard countless praises throughout his life, felt a strange warmth in his heart. How can this be? The king wondered. One parrot curses like a criminal, and this one speaks like a saint. Yet they look exactly alike. After exchanging greetings, the king turned to the head sage. "Respected sage," he said, "I must ask you something that troubles me." The sage smiled kindly. "Ask, O king." The king pointed toward the parrot. "I just saw another parrot in the forest. Same size, same color. But it was abusive, violent, and spoke like a criminal. This one speaks like a gentle soul. How is this possible?" The sage's eyes softened with understanding. "Ah," he said, "so you have met the first parrot." He invited the king to sit under the shade of a banyan tree. The air was peaceful, and the sound of chanting floated around them like a blessing. The sage continued, "O king, your confusion is natural, but the answer is simple. Both parrots were born from the same mother. They are brothers." The king was stunned. Brothers? But they are worlds apart. The sage nodded. Yes. One parrot fell into the hands of robbers. Every day he heard their curses, their hatred, their violent plans. He learned their language and their thinking. The other parrot came to our ashram. Here he listens to prayers, chants, blessings, and teachings of peace. So his heart became pure and his words became sweet. The ashram parrot chirped happily, as if agreeing with every word. The sage looked into the king's eyes and said something that pierced his heart. "O king, just like these parrots, humans too are shaped by their environment. The company we keep decides the thoughts that fill our mind, the words we speak, and the habits we form." The king fell into deep thought. He realized that no one is born wise or foolish, kind or cruel. Life shapes us. People shape us. Our company shapes us. "A human is born innocent," the king whispered, "but those around him can make him good or bad." The sage smiled. "That is the truth, O king. We become like those we surround ourselves with. Choose wisely." The king stood up with a newfound clarity in his eyes. "From today," he declared, "I will choose my company carefully, and I will teach my people the same. For if environment can change a parrot, imagine how it can shape a man." The sages blessed him. The king bowed, mounted his horse, and rode back to his palace. But the sage's words stayed in his heart forever. Friends, the story ends here, but the message is powerful. The company we keep shapes our life. Good company makes us good. Bad company ruins us. So choose wisely. If you like this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you again with another beautiful story.